Hello and welcome to KennyRoy.com. I'm Kenny Roy. This is the Ask Video Mail for the week of May 13th, 2013. Welcome to the site to you new members, and welcome back to the old members. The Ask Video Mail is your chance to get your question in character animation or performance answered in a video just like this one, but I need your question if I'm going to answer it, so please send it to webmaster@kennyroy.com. I go through all the questions and I answer the ones that I think will help the most people. There's no such thing as a stupid question, and it is the best way to get the most out of the site. You can even send me your Maya file. I love to get those. So it is officially summer. We are definitely in summer here in LA. It's heating up. The sun's baking everything. It's really, really nice. I love it. It's kind of why I love to live here is the summers, and living close to the beach is also very, very nice. Things are just really, really great, and I'm a happy guy. So I hope you are too. Just to remind you, I love to plug these guys because they're doing great work, and I think that you should check them out if you want some extra animation training. Is CG Spectrum. I have a banner at the top and the right side of KennyRoy.com. KennyRoy.com members get a 10% discount on all the CG Spectrum training offerings, and they have a really affordable and really worthwhile Rent a Mentor program where you can get personal feedback from a professional on your work. Professional from the industry. So that is awesome. Check those guys out, or click the banner and let them just wash over you with information. They've got a really slick website, looks great, and again, they're doing good work, so I want to promote them every once in a while. You also have bonus programs here on KennyRoy.com. I'm not sure if you realize this, but if you refer a friend and they put your username exactly into their sign-up form, you get credited. You get 30 days free, just automatically added to your account. If you have a friend sign up for a 30 or a 60-day or even a free trial. What? Free for free? Yes. What am I, nuts? Maybe. But let's go with that. Let's keep moving. You also get 60 days free added to your account instantaneously if your friend signs up for a year. So tell your friends and tell them your username and put it in the sign up form. You could get a heck of a lot of free time here on KennyRoy.com. Also, if you haven't turned in a testimonial, that's 5 days free. Just add to your site for doing the testimonial program. Look on the left side in the menu when you log in for the bonus menu item. Check that out. Let's jump in. This week, I'm not doing an Ask Video Mail question because I just recently discovered, and I feel like a ding-dong because I only just now discovered this, a new function, a feature of Maya that I guess has been in since 2013. I've just never seen it, and it is absolutely revolutionizing my workflow. So I just wanted to, I'm so excited, I wanted to hop on camera, do an Ask Video Mail about it, and show you basically how fantastic it is. Okay, so without further ado, let's check out the question and see what we're going to be talking about. Awesome. You may have seen my Facebook post last week about this feature if you're following me on Facebook, which you should be if you want to get all the latest information and get giveaways and free stuff from KennyRoy.com. That's what you should do. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. I am Kenny Roy on both of those websites. But at any rate, I posted this right when I discovered it, and I wanted to show you what this is. If you are an AM student or AM graduate, you probably are blocking in stepped mode. If you're not one of those, an AM student or graduate, you probably have exposure to step keys, but I do know that basically blocking the image and doing kind of the frame by frame, pose to pose method is the AM and, well, by extension Pixar method, or maybe the other way around, Pixar by extension AM, because that's where those guys who, the founders, that's where they were basically came from. That being the case, that said, the stepped mode workflow is the way that I work. I really believe that it is the best way to get the strongest poses, and like I've said in all of the workflow walkthrough lectures, which you can check out in the store, it's much better to have the problem of having super strong posing, almost too strong of posing, and battling to get your timing to work than it is to have like really flowy, really like easy timing to figure out, but all your poses are weak and really not engaging. So because we want a very strong pose-to-pose workflow, step mode lends itself to that. But there is a problem. Normally, whenever you are working with stepped keys, there is that moment when you start to get to a point where you're like, do I have enough breakdowns? Do I have enough in-betweens? Have I defined my arcs enough? Is this the beginning of a moving hold? Is this at the end of a transition? Do I need anticipation here? Should I build overlap into this? Well, stepped preview actually kind of erases that entire moment. And that's why I'm so excited about it, is because that moment for me is normally a lot of back and forth. And let me tell you why this is great, okay? My process is to go all the way up until I'm basically at a point where I'm comfortable with hitting clamped. I go from stepped to clamped. Why? Because clamped will do an actual moving hold, not a moving hold, sorry, it'll actually flat all of the tangents that I purposefully wanted to be a long hold, okay? Spline, it'll just overshoot everything. Everything overshoots, okay? Auto tries to guess which one you want. It tries to guess which ones you want flat and which ones you want spline. But I'd rather not guess. I'd rather have, anytime there's no value change, it's just a hold, okay? So that's what I do. Then what I do is I work in auto. So I go from stepped, convert to clamped, because how I know I worked in stepped, it's supposed to be clamped, but then I change my defaults to auto. So anything that's new that's added while I'm doing blocking plus and actually polishing will be auto. So I'll let Maya guess once I'm done converting what I know I want it to convert into. I hope that makes sense. Well, that's great and all, but every once in a while, during the life of a shot, there's always a moment where I'm like, I need to see this back in the format that it was blocked in, so I can figure out and hone in on that je ne sais quoi, that unknown, indescribable thing that really got me jazzed up, that really, you know, blew my skirt up about the timing in the shot. And that is only possible if you go back to step mode, right? Because this is what step mode does. Especially with a bouncing ball. You could pretty much take any bouncing ball, delete random, like 3 or 4 random frames from it, play it back in stepped mode, and an audience and you, probably especially you as an animator, would fill in with your mind. Watching it, doesn't matter how stuttered it is, watching it, you would fill it in. You smooth it out, you make that slow in and slow out at the top of the arc, you have all of the spacing in your head, and it just kind of plays in your head. That's why stepped mode is so powerful, is because we hone in on our poses and our strong silhouettes, our brain takes over the timing, and it fills in. So that being the case, sometimes, like I said, during the lifespan of a shot, I have to go back to that. I have to look at it and say, okay, this was inspiring me. I know I made this choice for a reason. What was it? The problem is if you convert it back to stepped, it deletes all of the awesome tangent work that you've been doing on that curve. And how do you get that back? You can't. So the stepped preview, what it does is it temporarily displays your animation as if you have stepped keys. It allows you to set new keyframes that in the background are your auto tangents or your clamp or whatever you choose, whatever you like, it's fine, okay? In the background, it's actually creating those to be that tangent type. But when you turn off stepped preview, it will actually go back to displaying you what those tangent types are. But as long as it's on, it'll be a stepped key. All right. So let me show you. I'm going to show you on a very, very, very simple scene here. I'm just going to whip it up in front of your eyes, and you can see. You'll see the fact that the tangent types are not messed up. That you can see things as stepped, and then you can go back and forth without any destruction to your tangents. This has really grown my workflow, and I wish I had seen it when 2013 came out. I've put this into the book How to Cheat in Maya 2014, so you can check it out, okay? But check out this video as well, and I think you'll be very pleased. Let's take a look. Okay, so I've got a little bit of animation on here. Let me just delete that. All right, so here we have just a sphere, right? And so my preferences right now, this is another great thing, is I can actually make my tangents weighted, but I can work in clamped. Why? Because I know that my clamped is what I wanted to change it to, wanted to convert from stepped in the end. All right, so now I can just work in clamped, which is great. So I'm going to set a key right here on the origin, and then I'm going to scroll forward a few frames, and I'm going to move it. All right, and then I'm going to scroll forward a few frames, but I'm not going to mute it. I'm just going to leave it there, and I'm going to hit S. Okay. Now I know that it's going to start. There's going to be no acceleration. That would be flat tangents or plateau. It actually flats the first tangent and the last tangent of a curve. Okay, so I like clamped. All right, for the reason that it doesn't try to flat those last tangents and those first tangents. So it's going to, basically the curve is going to go, and then it's going to go into a flat. So I'm going to open up my graph editor. Up, there it is, right. So here's my translate X, this is what I just did. All right. Now, if I am blocking, all right, I'm not going to do that animation with without step preview turned on. So let me show you again. So I'm going to delete this. All right, I'm going to turn on enable step preview. You just right click on the timeline, enable step preview. All right, set key. Oops, sorry, grab it, set key, go forward a few frames, move it, go forward a few frames, hit S again. Now, step preview is on. Now this looks like stepped keys, doesn't it? You see that? Okay, so it's here, and then when it hits a new value, it snaps to it, and because there's no change on frame 20 from frame 15, it's not going to move at all, right? So there's my stepped keys, all right? Looking at the graph editor, look what it does. It's actually kind of funny because it actually looks like it doesn't really look like a stepped key because the stepped key actually is straight down. And maybe visually they'll clean that up later, but this is the point. The point is that this is a temporary thing. When I turn off, watch this, when I turn off enable step preview, there's my clamped tangent. It's fantastic. Okay, now check this out. All right, turn on step preview again. All right, now I'm going to make a breakdown. I'm going to make an in-between right here. All right, so I want it about halfway, you know, right there. All right, so now I can play back. See, it's still stepped. Open up my graph editor, turn off enable step preview. Here we have my clamped tangent that I can edit. Now, I like to work with buffer curves showing as well. As you can see, that little buffer curve shows up. Now let me show you the awesome, most awesomest, raddest featurist ever, which is the fact that it doesn't destroy your tangent work. Let's say I'm working right now. I just converted this to a weighted tangent, okay? This tangent right here, and I do this crazy tangent. I'm gonna snap a buffer curve, all right, so you can see that's where it started, okay? Now, let's say this is blocking plus mode. I've been working on this for a little while, and I'm saying to myself, you know what? There was something in here. I don't know what it was, but I've lost it, and I can't get it back. Let me see if I can add another breakdown, maybe on frame 4. Okay. Normally, what I would have to do is I would have to convert, boom, to stepped mode to get back to this step preview. Let me hit play. Okay, that's what we had, right? And I would be looking in here for whatever that exciting thing was, that timing choice or whatever, all right? But check this out. Now, how do I get back? Let's say I put a breakdown right here. You know, maybe I space it just like really close so that it does accelerate. So I'm going to space it like right here, okay? Well, that's no good. That's no good at all. Why? Because once I convert back to clamped, look, all my tangent stuff is gone. Here's the buffer curve. Look closely. There's all that work that I did, and now it's all gone. So it completely destroyed my work. So what am I going to do? All right, this is what you're going to do from now on, because you're going to use step mode preview. Okay, you're going to do your tangent work. Let me snap back to the buffer curve. Okay, and make a new one. Here it is. This is all that awesome work I did. And this is the exact tangent that I want, all right? I'm going to go to step mode preview, and ignore that. I know it's weird. They'll fix that eventually. Don't worry about that. I'm going to do that spacing choice on frame 4. You know, I'm just going to space it a little bit, you know, a little bit off the origin, okay? And as you can see, it adds another step key in preview. This is just preview. In the background, it's a clamped, right? Now, turn off Enable Step Preview. Boom. Look at that. It's beautiful. All my work that I was doing right here is preserved. And the change that I did, the little spacing change, that's the only part that was changed. Isn't that incredible? Isn't that just unbelievable? I am thrilled. I am enthralled. I am so stoked about this new feature. I had to do a video mail and show you how to use it. If you don't have a workflow, or if you don't know if you have a workflow, that's just as bad. You need to check out the workflow walkthrough lectures that are in the store right now, and check out the other video mails where I talk about workflow. You really need to get on board. If you do have a workflow, great, awesome. I hope it's written down, and I hope you follow it religiously. And if you do, and step mode is a part of your workflow, you have to try this. I command you, you have to try this out. Really, it will change things for you. It's incredible. So I had to do this video mail. I'm sure you understand. I hope you understand. We'll go back to the member questions next week. I promise I won't be interrupting your guys' chosen questions in the future, or at least not in the very near future. I might do another one of these at some point if there's an awesome feature I need to show you. Okay, that was awesome. Please send me your questions. If you're on a free trial, it's the best way to get the most out of the site, and I do answer questions of people who are on a free trial. There's no problem with that. So send them to me to the address webmaster@kennyroy.com. I'd love to see them, and you can even send me your Maya file. I open them up and take a look. All right, this was a lot of fun. As you can see, I'm very excited about showing you this feature. I hope you use it and get a lot out of it. Good luck with your animation. And as always, rock on.